Hi guys, it's Marc Zicree of Space Command, also known as Mr. Sci-Fi, and it is a rainy day in Wales. And why are you in Wales, you may ask? Well, that's a story in itself. And also, it's been a long time since I've done Space Command updates, so I'm going to be doing one of those right now using my brand new tripod, and we'll talk all about everything that's going on, and you are going to be vastly entertained. So here's what's going on, and here's why I'm in Wales. You know that we've been working very hard on Space Command, and it's a big project. And so we had a great panel at Comic-Con. We showed a new trailer that shows the shots and sequences from the first 6 hours of Space Command, half of the entire first season of Space Command. Meantime, I've been flying all over England and France and having meetings there at various conferences, and also conferences in LA, meeting with a number of different executives, talking with Netflix, talking with Amazon, talking with Fox, talking with BBC and ITV and Channel 4, and on, laying track. Because Frank Spotnitz, who created Man in the High Castle, ran The X-Files, is doing the new show Medici, has 4 shows on the air right now, is mentoring me. Damon Lindelof is advising me, Glenn Mazzara is advising me, many of these people who are the leading lights of television. And essentially it's building trust, getting the executives to know you, getting them to understand what you have in mind. And so it's a long road, but a road that I'm on, and it is moving forward. I just had some wonderful meetings with the BBC. And another company called Lookout Point, and I'm in communication with a company that does Sherlock. Probably going to be meeting with them in about a week in London. But let me tell you what's going on. It's amazing, it's fun, it's great. Jesus, and hard work. But basically what's been going on is, in order, you know, we shot the first 2 hours of Space Command, we shot 35 minutes of the second story, we shot the first opening sequence of the third story, Great Solar War. These are all 2-hour stories. These are each of them represents 2 episodes of Space Command. By the way, we're still raising money, selling shares. If you want to buy shares in Space Command, it's a great way to be part of this. Once we sell the show, we won't be selling shares anymore. But we'll get into all of this. So here's what's been going on. So as part of laying track to sell Space Command, Frank Spotnitz, I met with him in France at MIPCOM about a year ago. He said, you should meet all these people in England, all these network execs, etc. And I said, can I use your name? And he said, yes. Incredibly kind, incredibly generous. And so I flew to London and met with all these executives, and just laying track, saying this is a hopeful vision of the future. This is something where it's something we can show our kids, our grandkids. We're creating a future for ourselves and for those who will follow in our tracks. And it says the future will have challenges, but it'll be worth living in and worth fighting for. And they were all very excited about this. And then, so meantime, we're moving ahead, creating Space Command. But one of the executives I met with was Channel 4, which is a network in England. And now my wife, Elaine, whom many of you know because she's my writing, directing, producing partner on Space Command, she's been writing a number of socially progressive ensemble dramas. That's what she does. Her parents were communists. She's very political. She's much more reality-based than I am. She tends to live in reality. I just visit it every now and then flee back to my spaceships in my alien worlds. But Elaine's written many wonderful screenplays that we wanted to get made. And so we said now Channel 4 has a film arm called Film 4 that makes wonderful dramas, wonderful films. And I said, you know, we'd like to meet with them. And the executive said, well, ideally you should walk in with a British producer. That's how it works. So at our roundtable in LA, one of the members of our roundtable is Damien, who used to be a cop in England. He was with MI5, and he had a motorcycle accident, woke up in the hospital, said, I don't want to be a cop, I want to be an actor. So he came to LA and became a member of our table. We cast him in Space Command, and then we said, do you know any producers in the UK? And he knew 2 producers. They read one of Elaine's screenplays, they loved it, they came aboard it so that we could walk into Film 4. But meantime, they had acquired a project and they wanted us to consult on it. And it was Lord Peter Hayne, who's a member of Parliament in England, had written a memoir about his parents who were activists in South Africa. And they asked us to consult on it, and Elaine, of course, being incredibly political, she was in the Civil Rights Movement. She was on the Poor People's March on Washington that Martin Luther King came up with, and very political. And so we met with Lord Peter Hayne in Parliament in the House of Lords, and he and Elaine hit it off like a house. You know, they just were pals from the first because he's a socialist. Elaine is very much a socialist, and again, we're not down on other people's politics. If someone's more right wing than we are, that's fine. Again, my philosophy is inclusivity. I'm it's not for me to get on my soapbox in terms of that, but Peter and Elaine loved each other's viewpoints and each other's politics. And so then we went up to Wales and met his mom and his dad, his dad has passed on since, but we got to meet him. And he and his mom is the main character of this story back in the early '60s. She's 90 now. So we started talking to the producers and talking to Lord Peter Hayne, and it was very clear very early on that Elaine should be the writer on this project. And so she did the outline, and then they pulled together the money and hired her to write this movie. And we're aboarded as producers, and there's the two producers in the UK, 51 Productions in Wales, where I am now. And so the money came through just before Elaine's birthday to hire her. So we've flown to England, and we've been doing interviews in London with the people who were part of the story, and now we're up in Wales interviewing Peter's mom and sisters, and then we're going to Liverpool tomorrow to interview one of the key people, and then we fly to South Africa, and we go to Cape Town and Pretoria and Johannesburg and Port Alfred, I guess, and interview a number of more people, and then Elaine hunkers down, and over about a 3-month period she'll write the script, and then they'll reach out to the actors they want, Charlize Theron, etc., and off we go. And we're not directing this one, so they're going to find a director who will be terrific. So meantime, we're building our production company. We're going to do 3 of Elaine's films in the next 2 years. We're based now. Our studio's in LA. We have an executive a vice president of business affairs in Dallas, and we're also a presence now in London. And the production company over Space Command Studios is called Better Angels, and we're going to raise the money to make those 3 features and do them in the next 2 years. But that's Elaine writing and directing. I'm a producer, but my main key project is Space Command, as it has always been in the last few years. So here's where things stand with Space Command. This is why I'm doing this video for you guys, for everyone, to let you know what we're doing. So with Space Command, we brought aboard Zach and well, if you've seen our trailer of late, it's this amazing trailer, and that was done. The visual effects were done by Zach and Brennan Karam, who are Threshold Films, and so we hired them to do the first 35 minutes of visual effects, and they've been turning out amazing visual effect shots, and that's moving along. They've given us hundreds of shots now, and so we're moving along on that. We had as I said, we had a great panel at Comic-Con. A number of our Space Command investors flew in. We had a wonderful dinner with them. We gave them Space Command jackets and talked to them about why they're investing in this project. And they all said the same thing. They said, we believe in you and we believe in this project. And that's a great thing for them all to say. And again, I found it, and I had them introduce themselves and talk about what their jobs were. And they're from all walks of life. Some are in video games, some are truck drivers, just regular folks. Shares in Space Command are only $7,500, and I designed it so regular folks could be part of it. You don't have to be a gazillionaire to be a part of Space Command. So, now, thanks to instant teleportation, I'm in Africa. I'm in South Africa, staying in a treehouse with Elaine. We're continuing our journey, interviewing people, but also seeing giraffes and rhinos and leopards and you name it. In fact, there's nyalas behind me, and there's monkeys in the trees overhead. So it's definitely Africa. So we're continuing to interview people, and meantime, my assistant is setting up interviews with me with executives I've been reaching out to in London. We'll be continuing the interviews and the meetings, pitching TV series, pitching Space Command, talking to people. Frank Spotnitz has been in communication with me in the last few days. I'm going to be meeting with a number more executives when I get back to London in about a week and a half. And in terms of Space Command, the VFX team is continuing to generate shots. I'm in communication with them. We're ramping up for a number of different things relating to Space Command. The whole plan, of course, is to complete Space Command, to get it to all of you. First of all, if you want to invest, that speeds the plow. If you want to put in less money in Patreon, which allows me to get things done. Because right now the whole issue with Space Command is just getting things done, getting things to where people can see how wonderful this is. Now with Orville and Discovery on the air, There's a hunger for science fiction shows, for space-going shows, and people are aware. I met with Gunpowder and Sky, and they were very enthusiastic. Their company starting a new science fiction network. So again, for me, and I'm also going to be going to the Drama Summit, meeting with a number of different executives. You know, I can't say when and how Space Command will sell. All I can do is put in the effort. Additionally, in terms of completion, you know, we're dealing with Nicholas Alanis in Italy. We're dealing with the you know, Zach and Brennan and Renez in LA, our VFX team there, and Dave Edison is continuing to edit. We're working on both Redemption and Forgiveness, and I'm writing Great Solar War. I'm doing the rewrite on that, and just continuing to move forward. So that's basically the news. Please feel free to email me, marczicree@gmail.com, with questions. I welcome questions, and just know that day by day, every single day, work is being done on Space Command. It is moving forward. It is getting completed, and what we're seeing is beautiful and wonderful. You know, with the Orville and with Discovery and all, and Blade Runner 2049 about to come out, and all of these things. You know, science fiction is very much in the air. Science fiction remains an incredibly popular medium, and I'm very glad that we're creating work that we feel proud of and that we can stand behind. The reason that Elaine is doing this amazing feature here in South Africa and in England is it led directly from Space Command, from the meetings I had, and it also is about people taking a stand for what they believe in, people creating a better world, making things happen, and that's what we're doing with Space Command. That's what we're doing thanks to all of you. So again, you can buy shares, you can contact me, you can call me at 323-363-1259. If you're calling me and I'm out of the country, it's +1 at the beginning. So, and I look forward very much to talking with all of you very soon. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing journey, and it's taken me around the world on this project. And you know, we talk about Space Command, and people love science fiction. Even here in South Africa, when I mention what I'm working on, they go, "Wow, that's so cool!" And I think so too. So thanks to all of you. We're gonna get to the finish line on this, guys. We're pushing ahead, and I'm very proud of what we're creating. So take care. Talk to you very soon. And that's it for now. From South Africa, and from the world of rhinos and monkeys, and there's one right overhead. There's 3 overhead actually. And we'll talk very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.